Good evening and welcome to S24 Insight. This evening, we look at one of the most watched shifts in Nigeria's political landscape. The African Democratic Congress, ADC, once seen as a smaller party on the margins, is now being projected by its supporters as a growing opposition convergence platform, especially after the coalition adoption of the party in 2025 and the recent arrival of major political figures into its orbit. ADC says it stands for a political system built on transparency, accountability, and inclusion, especially for young people and underrepresented groups. But with more heavyweights entering the room, the big question becomes clear. Can ADC remain a value-driven alternative, or will it become just another vessel for elite ambition? Joining us this evening is Ibrahim Suleiman Habibu, a member of the ADC, convener of Democracy Forward, a support group of the party, an aspiring national youth leader of the ADC, and a politician who says he has been active in politics since 2007. Welcome to the show, Mr. Habib.
Thank you very much.
Is it Suleiman? Which one?
It's Habib. Ibrahim Suleiman Habib, but it's Habib actually.
You know, when you talk about ADC in Nigeria, I think some say it's third first, some say second first. Some just say, but I know as a party faithful, I'm sure there is a description you want to give your political party. What will you define ADC as?
Yeah, I can actually say ADC is a potential second force actually in Nigeria, considering the current political dispensation and people coming into our own folds. You can now see is a potential second force. The reason why I say is a potential second force is because up till today we don't have an active governor who is a member of our party yet. The PDP has two. They have Bauchi, they have Oyo State actually, which we are hoping that the Bauchi State governor will soon come into our own fold actually.
Okay, I think to get things clear, let's start with you've been in politics since 2007. But you joined the ADC only recently. Why ADC and why now at this particular point in Nigeria's political tapestry?
Okay. Well, actually, I've been a member of the APC since 2013. That is when the APC came into the merger.
It's 2014.
2013. It was November, December 2013. Okay. And I think in 2014, some of our members on the plateau were into the local government election in 2014. And I've been a member up until 2022 when I left the APC for PRP, even though there was a kind of a relationship between the PRP at that time with the APC, which we supported Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the past presidential election.
Why did you leave the APC?
Well, there was an internal crisis in the party that is on the plateau. We thought at that time that we work for the party right from inception, that we do need to be given an opportunity in the party like any other member. But we realized that some people coming into the party late were given more opportunities more than we that were there right from inception. Right, exactly. So we protested that and we moved to the PRP. And I contested for the State House of Assembly in the last general election. That's from Shandam constituency of Plateau State. So I think that answers your question about me being coming to the ADC. And recently, reason why I moved into the ADC, I realized that most of the other political parties are kind of having issues, internal issues.
And which the ADC also is factionalized.
Well, but not like other political parties like the PDP. You look at what happened at their own national secretariat recently, I think last year, with Wike camp and the Turaki camp, Led camp and all that. So as a young person that has no any other country than Nigeria and believe in democracy, I do believe that having one party system in this country is a very risky thing to allow it to happen. Before that, we were having a movement that we named Democracy Forward Nigeria. What we were intending to do was to make sure that at every constituency of this country, at every state of this country, at every local government of this country, good candidates emerge as leaders, irrespective of their own political parties. But we later realized that if we allow one-party system to happen in this country, this will never come to fruit. It will never happen. So we choose to join the ADC because we think the ADC is the only party that has the potential to kind of battle the current incumbent administration. Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
So I believe that, and you joined the ADC for a reason. You've mentioned a few. ADC's official mission speaks about breaking away from godfatherism and building a party anchored on transparency, accountability, and inclusion. Which of those values genuinely pulled you in, and which one do you think the party still has to prove in practice?
Well, I think all of them make sense, and I think all of them are our own kind of emblem. We all believe in all those things that you've mentioned. And then the youth participation, we are still calling, because it's not something that you just say we're going to do. We're still calling as young people to be given an opportunity. Like I was discussing that with some of my friends, saying that, okay, we've been having different political parties in this country with their own leadership, the A schools. And most of the people that are leading the party, you hardly see young people. If you see a young person, it must be only the national youth leader of the party. Why can't we have this kind of a formation? Let's have the national party chairman, an elderly person, and then the deputy national chairman should be young people that have young blood, who have full of energy, because I believe the leadership of the vehicle of every leadership is run by the wisdom of the old and the energy of the youth. Exactly. So all these major positions, even if we will not be given the deputy national chairman, all these positions like organizing secretary of the party, the PRO of the party, the legal advisor of the party, should be people with age and wisdom, and then their assistant, people that will be assisting them will be young people.
Them, if you
exactly. Will be young people that will be coming up. That will give the young people a kind of a platform to be mentored. And then as time goes on, there will be a time that they will take over the mantle of the leadership.
So you're not just a member of the party, you're also the convener of Democracy Forward, like you mentioned, and an aspiring national youth leader. What exactly are you trying to build inside ADC? A movement, a structure, or even something bigger than that with ideology?
Well, actually, we're trying to bring about ideology to the young people, the Gen Zs in general, because they have that drive. They have that drive, but the major problem is they have a limited knowledge of politics, even though we are learning too. But we think we should pass the knowledge we've learned, the little we've learned from our own mentors to those that are coming up. So we want to kind of catch them young, let them know the values of having a very good democracy, let them know how politics is being played and how you can go through it, because it's a series of procedures that you must have to be a party member, get somebody in the party that can be your mentor, learn from him with patience and all that. But above all, have a very good mindset that Nigeria is the only country we have and we need to make it better. So basically we want to, with Democracy Forward Nigeria, we want to give those young people coming up that kind of a perspective that we should never allow one-party system in this country. Never. They should be part of every political party if they will or they want to, but let them never kind of domiciled in one political party and let Nigeria go into this kind of...
There should be a spread. That's
exactly.
So I think ADC became something I refer to as political magnet. Exactly. That is attracting all the top political aggrieved bigwigs from, especially APC and the PDP as well.
Saying aggrieved, I think is a wrong word to use.
Why did you say it's a wrong word?
Well, there are people that are aggrieved, there are people that are not, but they are willing to see democracy prospering in Nigeria, democracy growing in Nigeria.
So would you say Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso is not aggrieved?
Well, like I said, there will be aggrieved members, and there are other people, most of whom are not aggrieved, but they are not happy with the current political compensation, and they think they should do something to change it, which is a responsibility of every Nigerian to take part in it.
So what did your years in politics since 2002 2072 about loyalty, ambition, and the difference between political relevance and public value. I'll give you a case study. You said you worked for a party, and when you were not considered, and people, they call them latecomers in the marriage sphere. Latecomers came and took the best of what you've worked for. So in that regard, that's a case study for me. What did your years in politics since 2007 teach you about loyalty, ambition, and the difference between political relevance and public value?
Well, loyalty is a very how will I say? Is a very backbone of every relationship between mentors and mentees. And coming into politics, I can remember in 2007, there were people who were kind of counselors and former counselors at that time who were our mentors, and we learned from them to some extent. Now they see us as, they kind of refer to us as spiritual to them and all that. And it's a norm to be loyal in politics. And then about ambition, you can't just be loyal for donkey years. You must have to come up with an ambition that you want to be someone who will change things, who will actually contribute to the development of the country. So that is about ambition. And ambition, not just to contest for a political office, actually. Politics is very, very big. It accommodates almost everybody. Or let me say a political party can accommodate a lot of people. We have ESCOs from the ward level, we have from the local government level, to some extent at the senatorial districts, and then the state level and the national level. And some people can just be party leaders or kind of a board of members of the board of trustees. At every level, there will be like people who watch from a side and give advice. So everybody needs to come into politics and then have a kind of a direction. A direction in such a way that if you want to be a leader or maybe somebody who can occupy a seat of power, then you learn from there. You build your own perspective toward that, which is actually not my own path. I contested just because many people were calling me to contest at that time and nobody was willing to do that, so I contest. But I really want to be a party member and somebody who will make sure that things are going right in the party. That is the second question. I think it answers the second question. The third question and the fourth question, I think I can forget. If you can remind me.
I think it's just one question, what you stand for. If you stand for ambition, difference between political relevance and public value. And I think you've spoken largely to that. So in one sentence, what do you stand for politically?
Well, nation building.
Nation building.
Nation building.
That's interesting. Yeah. And with this, we'll go on a quick break. When we return, we'll ask Malam Ibrahim a more tougher question on the stance with the APC and all of the rigmaroling and the permutations, combinations going around in the Nigerian politics. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, it's still S24 Insight, and we've been speaking to Ibrahim in the space of ADC being a second force in the Nigeria's political landscape, and we've touched base with so many things, including personal ambition, what our guests stand for, etc. Let's dive into the other part of this insight today, and starting with the fact that ADC has become a magnet, like I mentioned, for opposition realignment. The coalition adopted the party in 2025, and just this week, Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso formally joined, with Peter Obi, Rotimi Amechi, Aminu Tambuwal, David Mark, and others visibly around that process. Is ADC becoming a genuine alternative or simply a gathering point for displaced bigwigs in politics?
Well, ADC,
sorry.
Thank you very much. ADC is actually a platform that is created to welcome everybody.
Okay.
Whoever has something to contribute politically is welcome. And one thing I am for sure about the party is that we have been calling, and many of the party members have been calling for internal democracy. And I think this very call for internal democracy is one of the things that is kind of drawing people's attention to the ADC. And like I said earlier, is not a platform for aggrieved politicians like you mentioned. It's a platform for people to come and kind of franchise their own rights.
Yes, wait, not just aggrieved, because there are aggrieved people. Whether you like to admit that or not, there are aggrieved people that left a political party.
Most of these political parties that we have, the opposition political parties that we have a kind of an internal crisis in the political parties. Like Rabiu Musa Kunkuso that you mentioned, the NNPP, at some point expel him from the party, changes the logo of the party from what they've started with from beginning. All these things, to a book and whatever, I can't remember actually. All those things are kind of internal crisis that everybody in Nigeria believe is a fueled crisis. It's a kind of a coordinated crisis built within all the other
party. Most of experiencing faction.
PDP is experiencing that. What do we call it? A Labour Party is experiencing that same problem. NNPP. So, if, for instance,
you mean ADC is not facing
not at all
factional?
Not at all.
From statistics and all of the information I gathered, a few states already have factional leaders. Not
the way you think. Actually, every political party must have some problems when trying to set their fortresses. Like my state, for instance, what we are facing is the current chairperson, the current chairperson in the name of Hannatu Gagara was having some minor issues with some people, which they do believe she was offered an assistant national women leader, so she should move there because the work at the state level is very, very big for her to handle. So they want her to go there. Well, actually, I don't know whether they're talking about her own experience politically.
Is it because she's a female?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
I think we could move forward with other questions that would really interest people. Supporters say this is momentum for you at the ADC, and critics also say this is just another elite rearrangement. Which is it?
Well, if they are saying that is another elite rearrangement, then definitely the APC was another elite rearrangement in the 2013 when we come together. Most of us were kind of aggrieved in 2013.
So it's just a momentum for you. Do you believe it's a momentum?
It is actually.
Okay, let's move on. ADC says it's want to move Nigeria beyond political rhetorics and theories towards stronger institutions. That sounds noble, but what will make the party different from the parties many of the same actors once served under? Because all of these people moving to your party, they've served under other parties and they've made it look like it was going to be a beautiful, bright kind of situation. Yeah.
Well, every political party that come into formation happens like that. I can remember in 1998, though I was a very young, going to secondary school at that time and all that. I can remember vividly many of the members were members of some political parties in the 80s, in the 1992, political parties like the PRP and all this, that later formed the PDP, the G32, and later the PDP in 1998 and 1999. So if we're talking about that, you can't build or kind of set up a political party without people that have experience. You must have people that have experience from other political parties to come together and build this political party. It's just like an organization, a business organization. If you're starting a business, you need some people that have business acumen, people that can guide, even if they are going to sit on the board of that very organization to advise and watch over what you're doing. Same as our own party, the ADC. Most of those people that come in are people that were being followed and asked to come and join. Not that they come and join. I mean, the people that started it initially. They were being followed that, okay, we need to have something. Allowing this to happen is a very big blow to our own democracy. Let us have another force that will kind of be maybe the second force and all that. And they came in like my mentor, Malam Nasru Ahmed El-Rufai. He was called because immediately this thing happened, he left the party to another party, the SDP. And some people went to meet him, say, okay, he met with him and say, okay, this is what we want to do. Let us come together before we can agree on what platform, because political party is just a platform. What platform are we going to use as our own vehicle to success. And that was how he even made a call that they should use SDP at that time, which many of the members couldn't agree. So they have to settle for ADC, and they unveil their own political
party. In all of this, people will say political ideology is really lacking. So let's go back to the question of the big wigs that joined your party.
Okay.
There are vested interests because these top political figures, obviously, they've got interest. They say the only permanent thing for politicians
is interest. Exactly.
Now, there are big wigs like the former Vice President, the former Minister of Transport, Rotimi, former Governor of Rivers State as well. And you've got people like the former presidential candidate of the Labour Party, former presidential candidate of NNPP, etc. Big wigs.
Exactly.
In what ways will you manage this big?
And I would like to mention more because I think you've forgotten to mention some names. Big wigs. Malam Nasir is my mentor. I do not need to mention his name. Everybody knows his relevance and his influence in this country and all the politically. So I'm trying to make mention of some people that came into the party recently. Like in Kaduna, we have Ashiru Kudan that joined the party now. And in Zamfara, we have people like Kabiru Marafa, who I believe has the most biggest grassroots fellowship in Zamfara State, actually. Make your own research, Kabiru Marafa. Make your own research and you get to know about that. There are many people that are coming into the fold, and it is because they believe that ADC will give them a kind of a free and fair atmosphere for them to kind of play politics, actually. Because the door is open at the APC.
So what do you say about their interest? Because it's not about coming. Like I said, the only permanent thing, as experts used to say about politicians,
is interest, exactly.
So there must be a reason they left those parties. And now they've come to your party. And then I don't think the presidential seat is more than one.
Exactly.
Not more than one person will contest the presidential seat with a running mate.
Exactly.
In what ways will you manage the interest? Don't you think that would disintegrate the party in the near future?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Most of the people that are coming into the party recently are coming with an intention of kind of rescuing the country from where it is heading to.
In what manner would they rescue? To come and contest?
Not really to contest.
Okay.
But one thing...
Speak to them to know all of this?
Not really, but some of them have... I was being able to kind of follow some of them on social media, some of their own talks on political shows like this and all that. Let me cite an example. Let me cite an example. When one of our leaders, Tambuwal, was asked about, are you going to contest for presidential seat? He said no. All he's after is to have a very strong opposition party that will kind of face this.
It's easier said than done. When politicians say something on TV, you need to wait until the time.
Exactly. In 2013, when Atiku joined the APC, Buhari was there. In his great memory, Buhari was there. What's his name? Samda Isaiah was there.
Late
Samda Isaiah was there. I think Kwankwaso was there. Many of whom wanted to contest for presidential seats. They all battled for that presidential seat, and Buhari got the tickets. And then all of them rallied behind Buhari.
Do you think ADC got that kind of force as well?
Exactly.
Rally around.
Exactly.
I think let's go to you. You're a young person and we want you to be agent of change in Nigeria political space. If you become national youth leader, what would be your first argument inside the party leadership? Protect youth representation or win power first and discuss inclusion later?
No. Actually, I will make sure that the youth inclusion in not just the party leadership, but the leadership of the country and some states that will emerge victorious in the next general election. I will make sure that each and every sector youth will be considered. And will be considered with how will I put it? I forgot that word. It's only your quality and what you have to offer that will be considered. So I will make sure that youth are being carried along in party leadership. Youth are being carried along in the what do we call it? The political leadership in all the political compensation, both in the National Assembly, both in the executive sector. We'll make sure that many youth that that has potentials and has something to offer are being given an opportunity. And that is what I am intending to
Some reports actually frame ADC as the opposition's new rallying point, but they also want that fragmentation and defections after primaries and internal ambition could still weaken the bloc before 2027. In what ways do you think ADC would avoid becoming a place full of powerful people but short on internal discipline?
Well, you know, Nigerians are very angry with this very compensation, this very regime, or let's say leadership. Nigerians are looking for an alternative, and they are watching. They're kind of watching the movement of each and every big week of the party. And I believe that if we go through credible primaries or a kind of an open consensus, a very fair consensus, whoever emerges as a candidate, you must have to come and rally around him, or else the Nigerians will throw stones on you.
Okay, quickly, before we call it a wrap, in 2027, what will matter more to voters? Do you think it's party platforms, candidate personality, regional arithmetic, or economic pain?
Well, I think party platform will matter, and then quality of candidates too will matter. Because I don't.
You're not thinking about the economic pain people are in.
Well,
will it not matter?
It will definitely matter. That one is a storm. That one is a storm. So we do not need. Everybody knows about that. So we do not need to even talk about that.
Let's quickly wrap this up with a rapid fire.
Okay.
It's simple, short answer, yes or no.
Okay.
And what resonates with you? It shouldn't be more than one line.
Okay.
Power or service?
Service.
Party loyalty or people first?
People first.
Protest or policy?
Well, policy.
Godfather politics or grassroots structure?
Well, grassroots structure.
One word for Nigeria today. One word.
Progress.
One word for ADC today.
Success.
One quality every young leader must have.
I think equity.
Equity, okay. And the toughest lesson you've learned since 2007 in politics?
That one can't be a one-word answer.
Okay, a sentence.
A sentence, good. But I learned that there are so many challenges in this country, and we have come a long way, and we have a very, very long way to go.
Thank you. And let's choose state assembly or national party office. Which matters more right now?
State assembly or?
National party office. Which matters to you right now?
Well, national party office.
Okay, and lastly, in one sentence, why should people trust you for state assembly or even the party? Why should people trust you? In few words.
Well, you know, I can praise myself actually, but people I've been together with, friends and family, have been saying a lot of things. You need to do this, you need to do that. Like I told you earlier, even the state assembly I contested in the last election, it was a gathering of friends that were discussing we need to do this. And nobody wants to go into it, and everybody was pointing out on me. Habib, go and do it.
Okay.
Habib, go and do it. Sorry, not Habib actually, because they mostly call me the Tijo. Go and do it, go and do it. And that was how...
Remember, the Tijo is the name on the internet.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you so much. I think we've spent our time. Right. Many thanks for joining us, Mr. The Tijo, popularly known on social media like that. I think that resonates with viewers that will see this.
Exactly.
Nigeria's political map is shifting. ADC is now at the heart of a wider opposition conversation. And young politicians like you are asking the country not to listen, but to believe again. Whether that belief grows will depend on a slogan or not on election defections alone, and not on the headlines that we see, but on credibility, courage, and delivery. I am Halima Abdurrauf, and this has been S24 Insight on S24 Television. Bye for now, and see you next time.